Please read the disclaimer. Hello, beautiful people. Shalom, money makers. We're going to talk about XRP, about Bitcoin, about the crypto market, what we need to watch out for this week. We'll talk a little bit about what the President of the United States of America, President Donald Trump, had to say about crypto. We'll look at a few analysis about the market. We'll look and see what could potentially happen this week. It is going to be a very, very interesting week, even though, for example, Bitcoin did see a quote unquote negative signal this week. We'll talk about that and what usually happens with this signal. And we'll talk a little bit about how the probabilities of the Fed flipping its switch have shifted significantly. We'll talk about that as well. All I ask from you is that you give me a beautiful smile to send out those good vibes. Smishity smash that like button because it's Sunday. Let's try to get 1,000 likes on this video. I'm gonna check my messages. Da 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 da. Okay, I gave you enough time. Now let's get into it. So currently XRP is sitting at $2.26, up 1.37% on the day. We got Bitcoin at 96,000, still hasn't closed the gap, right? We need to still watch out for that. Ethereum at 3,200, Solana 142. Wow, Solana is almost at the level it was on a 10 on October 10. Ethereum is lower, but Ethereum and Bitcoin didn't really go down that much. Of course, XRP, holy smokes, went down to $1.20. So it's still far away. Cardano, similar. You can see how Solana was to 130. Not into the 90s, which would have been similar, but the top 3, 4, right, excluding XRP, are already below where they were on October 10th. Very interesting. So XRP, we talked about this, has for the most part held okay. Of course, this was anticipation of the XRP ETFs. We talked a lot about how the XRP ETFs, in my opinion, wouldn't be something that would, start moving the price of XRP in a significant way right as the first XRP ETF would be released because of how the market works, how ETF works, how the potentially the market could be in a situation that it is now. We're still in extreme fear. We're still at 10. Okay. And so when this is happening, most retail is out, right? They're checked out. They're not interested. Maybe they're interested more in stocks right now because the stock market has been very strong. And even someone wrote something, and it was interesting in the comment section, wrote, when stocks are strong, the crypto market usually struggles because people still view the stock market as less of a risk, right? And when it's doing good, there's quote unquote no reason to be in crypto. But my opinion and how I look at things, again, this is just my opinion, how I look at things. Of course, not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence before you decide to invest. Very, very important. This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Hopefully you are entertained. Is diversification. And that way, even if you are interested in something that's going up more, has more attention, there's opportunities there, but also in the market that's getting no love, there's also opportunities there. We've seen this with Zcash and ICP recently that have gone, on those very nice runs. So there's always opportunities in these markets. And I think that people that give actually no love to the market that's doing maybe quote unquote bad, that's I don't subscribe to that, because when you diversify, you're trying to look, okay, this is doing really good right now. Probably we're going to see a pullback there. Let me see where it's not doing real good. I'll try to find opportunities there. That's how I like to look at things. But what happens, and again, I'm human after all, is that when markets are hot, we get a little bit too hot and bothered, same like in a relationship. Sometimes you get the blinders on when things are going good and it's new and everything's, and you know how it is in the beginning when you start dating. So same thing like in the market, it's going up, hitting highs, doing good, going up, right? And it's hard to see the full picture, right? Sun, the sun is in your eyes, you can't see, right, from from all the green. And that's usually when the market goes the other way. And we've learned this in the past many times. This time around, I'm going to try to be better. I try to better myself every single time. Is it possible to be, the best version of me at the age of soon to be 39? I don't think so. I think that my strive is to, by the time I hit like 60, to be at my peak in investing. Like athletes hit their peak at like 28. I'm thinking 60 is your peak in your investing journey. That's what I think. Because by then, you're a lot smarter, you have a lot more experience, you've experienced a lot more things. Although I have experienced a lot of things by now, but I think that by then I'll be more cool, calm, and collected. I'll have less urgency, and then I can be a much better investor by then. That's just what I think. We'll see. Maybe, maybe not. I got what, 20 years? Wow, that's it. 20 years. Oh my God, that's it. To get there. That just dawned on me. In 20 years, I'll be 60. Yeah. Wow. Oh my God. I think I'm going to hit my midlife crisis right now in this video. Yeah. So if we go back to the markets a little bit, we'll see how things play out, because we still have this gap, right? And we're very, very close to it. Right? I know that yesterday the prices have a little bit stalled, right? Yes, we had the big sell-off on Thursday, and then the big sell-off on Thursday and Friday, and then Saturday we were okay here for Bitcoin, and then today so far we haven't legged down, but we know that between Sunday and Monday, when the weekly candle closes, and we'll get to the weekly candle in just a second, when we were talking about Benjamin Cohen and what he thinks, we've seen sell-offs, right, between those days. So again, we have to be very careful there, and it will be interesting to see what happens. Okay, but on the flip side, right, I'm flipping here. We had President Trump coming out and say, "I only care about one thing: we will be number one in crypto." Right? I don't think he only cares just about that, of course. I think this quote is being taken out of context a little bit, right? The way it's being aggregated. But he really, it seems, and after hearing his sons in Singapore, one of his sons, Donald Trump Jr., and we'll get to Eric Trump in just a second, I think that he has put upon himself to help his children. I understand that as a father, and I think, for the most part, for the next few years, we're not going to see a shift in that. And because of that, right, the crypto market should prosper. The only problem is the price action right now is not prospering. But again, because of what we talked about, there's a lot of factors unwinding after 1010. We talked about that, and my theory behind that there's still some market makers or big funds that got hurt very, very bad and had to unwind positions. That's, again, my theory, what I think is happening right now. And so, we're in this funk. But history has told me that funks get out of, right? Funks end. And then we look back at the funks and we're like, oh, right. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Doesn't mean that that's going to happen. Again, we need to be very careful here, because we could, again, see another leg down. But long term, 5-10 years, my theory has not changed. So again, short term, day to day, again, I don't know what's going to happen. Trump can say something, the Fed can say something, the Fed can do something, right? By the way, probabilities have just shifted. And from last week, where last week we were almost 62% probability of a rate cut in 3 weeks. And now it's at 40%. So this is a total shift. So this is very interesting. Now the probabilities of no rate cuts is 60. I think this came because of the no CPI data, right? The data didn't come out last week, and that was one of the reasons why the market fell off there on Thursday, actually. And so once the government reopened and there was no data about the economic stuff, so the Fed is kind of, it doesn't know what the data is. So how can they make a decision with no data, right? So I think that's why the probabilities shifted. That created the fear, that created the sell-off. The market, especially the crypto market, is very delicate right now. So any like good news, so the market's like, okay. But anything that's slightly bad, zoom, 5, 6, 7% down. So again, this is just the nature of all these leverage positions and everything that's happening. They get closed out very, very fast. People are high leverage positions right now in anticipation of a big comeback, but that comes with great risk, right? We know that. And this was funny, a troll by Polymarket saying Eric Trump says quarter four will be unbelievable, right? For this, right? And so Justin, Eric Trump, right? It was a joke, right? Unbelievably bad. So yeah, listen, there's always going to be situations. I think I thought we talk about it, how every time he's tweeted something, it's gone like the opposite. But when his father tweets stuff, it's actually good. So listen to Papa, right? To Papa and not the son. No, it's again, even someone that's the son of the president, they make mistakes. People make mistakes. Investors make mistakes. Sometimes even the best of investors or investors that were very successful, sometimes they get stuck in a thesis or they get stuck in a way and they go against the market or they go against the grain and they get burned significantly. So just that's just another reminder that even if you are unsuccessful, it happens to everybody. It happens to the best of the best. Okay, so that's important to remember. Not get too hard on yourself. I've had many successes, but I've had lots of losses too. And I'm along the way, I try to learn and I try to figure out how can I do better and learn from my losses and get into a situation where down the line when I am 60 and hopefully I have a compound interest, right? That I don't make the same mistakes I made earlier on, because then it becomes, when you're already towards the end there, it gets problematic. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to do along the way. Get another experience, another mistake, another win. That's what I'm trying to do. Fill my bucket. Okay. Interesting from Richard Hart here, showing us on the trading group on the graph here of Bitcoin, that over the past since 2024, we've had about 3 instances of Bitcoin pulling back around 32%, and each time off of that, there was another leg up. Does this mean that it's going to happen again? No, but is it normal? Is it part of the game? Yes. We've seen this before. It happens. It'll probably happen again, right? That the market pulls back and the market feels extreme fear. Although, again, I don't feel extreme fear. Yes, my portfolio is down, right, from the high, of course. But again, I look back to where I was in July, and I was having fun at the pool, right? When this run started, for example, for XRP, was I sad here? Was I fearful here? No. Am I fearful here now? No. But again, this is just me, maybe just because I've experienced stuff in life that has made me not fear the cycles and the movements, right? Because when I zoom out and look long term, of course, I have short term trades and midterm trades and things like that. But when I look at my general long term thesis, I don't get the extreme fear. But again, that's just me and my personal experience in my personal life. I understand why other people that have not experienced a real fear would be fearful now. I get that. And also, it's again a lot of short sellers that are trying to manipulate the market another leg lower, close the gap, make fear, make people make rash decisions. That's what happens when fear happens. Okay, the video is a little bit long. I went to a seminar. It actually was the Top Gun movie, the last one, and there was like a speech before the movie, in the movie theater, with a guy that was talking about fear, and he said there's certain ways that people react to fear. Some people will react, right? They'll do something. Some people will run away. Some people will freeze. Okay. And just like in real life, same thing happens in the market. People react differently to fear. So again, it depends how you are. Can you change the way you react to fear? Yes, that comes with experience of fear. It comes with training. It comes with motivation, right? So that's just something to think about, right? How it's similar to what's happening in real life. So that's important. And we did see a call it a bad cross on Bitcoin. Historically, if I remember correctly, there's usually a 10 to 15% pullback off of that, and then a recovery. So again, we'll see. It doesn't mean that it's going to happen the same again. But Benjamin, who actually called out the Ethereum sell off and the sell off on 1010, he predicted it would go around to this area. It has actually gone down a little bit more. So everybody was like, oh, Benjamin, he's so, he got it right. And now he's saying if Bitcoin closes below the 50-week SMA today, then the odds of the top being in go up considerably, right? A second close would make the case even stronger. We just had that bad cross. So if the cycle is not over, then now would be the time for bulls to show it. If the bulls can't get Bitcoin back above the 50-week SMA by the end of next week, then the odds are probably go back to 50-50. If the top is in, then there should be one final rally to the 200-day SMA, which would form the macro lower high. But that could still be several weeks away. Regardless of what is ahead for us for the rest of quarter four, Bitcoin will likely visit the 200-week SMA by mid to late 2026. Just like it does every midterm year. So it likely put the price at 60 to 70,000. Whoa. Hopefully that scenario doesn't play out, but there is a possibility that it does, okay? We don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Again, this is all educational, all theoretical, all potential scenarios. Some people get angry about this in the comment section that I, kind of say, well, this could happen and that could happen and this could happen. I give scenarios that could potentially happen. There is thousands of potential scenarios that could play out. I try to give the most probable ones, the ones that are the highest, that have happened in the past and then could happen again. Is there a black swan event like 1010 that could happen again? Maybe, right? But more likely as we go into a certain cadence, a certain cycleness, but we never know. We'll see. Okay. Again, not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence before you decide to invest. Very, very important. Check out the links in the description down below if you want to join the free and open Telegram group. The link is there. Please be very careful out there. Remember, I'll never DM you. I'll never ask you to DM me. There's a lot of fake avis out there right now, imposters on social media that are trying to mimic me, that are posting my videos and other videos, and just be very careful. I'm only here on YouTube, X, which my account is linked in the description, and the Telegram group. I'm only there. I'm not DMing you. I'm not asking you to sign up to anything. I'm not asking you to do anything. Please be very careful out there. Okay. Drop a comment, 8 for infinity and beyond, XRP123, whatever your heart desires. Let's try to get 1,000 likes on this video. It really helps out the channel. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you next time. See you later.